Now over my shoulder is an example of what I've been talking about. Only about 10 years ago, all that was open common land over there, you can see in the distance, but the local council decided that a new housing estate would be allowed to be built on that open common ground. So that's a new estate that started, I say about 10 years old, very smart new houses. What we've got to look at and think about is who benefits from having those new houses up there with the new roads and the shops, offices and so on. So who benefits and who loses out? So the pros and the cons, and then decide whether it's worth doing it. Obviously the council decided over there that would be worth it. But if you look down through here into the trees here, this area here is now being earmarked for development. In other words, it's an area that they're looking very carefully at to build a new housing estate on. And it's currently being discussed in the council buildings amongst the local councillors, the people who run Worcester, as to whether to use that area. And if you come down a bit closer, you can see at the moment it's farming field. It's actually owned by a farmer. It's privately owned, so it's farmland at the moment. The farmer wants to sell his land off to use for building houses and so on. Why would he do it? Why would he want to sell his land off to be building on? And why would a building contractor want to use that land to build houses? It's a question for you to consider, because it's a very real, it's a real-time question in July 2009 that the local authorities are actually considering. But you can see, come a bit closer again, that in the distance, those are the Malvern Hills. Those are the hills that the Romans, when they came just over 2,000 years ago, built a camp on the top, a fortress on the top, because they've got such commanding views 360 degrees round. And the town at the bottom of the hills is called Malvern, hence Malvern Hills. And it was always a big gap of countryside between the town of Malvern and the outskirts of Worcester. But as you can see, more and more the gap is closing as Malvern expands outwards and Worcester expands outwards. And at some point in the future it may well be that there's no gap at all, that Worcester and Malvern are basically all one place, because where there used to be fields in the middle, it's all closed over. But that's still not to be been decided yet, and perhaps you could have your say as to whether that should or shouldn't happen. Okay?